The rain lashed against the tinted windows of the black SUV as it pulled up to the Grand Horizon at 10:47 p.m. I stepped out alone, no driver holding an umbrella, no assistant trailing with luggage, no hint of the private jet that had just landed me back in the city after 3 weeks of relentless negotiations in Dubai and Singapore. Just a man in faded dark jeans, a charcoal hoodie, and scuffed leather sneakers that had seen better days. My face was half hidden under the hood, collar turned up against the wind. To the doorman, I was nobody special. Inside the marble lobby, the night staff barely glanced up. The concierge offered a polite but distant nod. I checked in under Alexander Reed, one of my lesser-known aliases, and took the keycard for suite 1408 on the 14th floor. No upgrade fanfare, no, welcome back, sir. Perfect. That was exactly how I wanted it tonight. I'd built this 42-story palace of glass and gold from the ground up over 15 years. The Grand Horizon wasn't just another property in my portfolio, it was the flagship, the one every reviewer called impeccable and legendary. But legends are built on people, not marble. And people can crack when no one important is watching. By 11:28 p.m., after a scalding shower that failed to wash away the jet lag, hunger hit hard. I hadn't eaten since the airport lounge 12 hours earlier. I sat on the edge of the king bed in the dim glow of the bedside lamp, picked up the heavy cream-colored receiver, and dialed room service. A woman's voice answered, professional, clipped, efficient. Good evening, room service. This is Elena speaking. How may I assist you? Evening, Elena. I'd like to order a club sandwich with extra bacon, side of fries, and a large bottle of still water. Suite 1408. There was a short silence. Then, I'm sorry, sir. Room service officially closed at 11 o'clock. Kitchen is shut down for the night. I checked my watch, 11:31. It's only 30 minutes past. I just got in from an international flight. Surely there's something still available. Even a simple sandwich would be appreciated. Her tone hardened, the warmth evaporating like mist. Policy is very clear, sir. No exceptions after close. If you had called earlier, we could have accommodated you. Perhaps the 24-hour cafe in the lobby, or there are vending machines on every floor. I'm in the suite now, I said evenly. I'm not asking for a 5-course meal, just something quick so I can sleep. Sir, she replied, each word edged sharper, I've already explained. Rules exist for a reason. If every guest expected special treatment after hours, we'd have chaos. Good night. Click. The line went dead. I held the receiver a moment longer, listening to the faint dial tone. Then I set it down gently and let out a low, quiet laugh, not bitter, not angry. Curious. Intrigued. This was precisely why I did these anonymous stays every few months, to feel the real temperature of the place when the spotlight was off. Elena had no idea who she'd just dismissed. And tonight, that ignorance was about to become very expensive. At 8:15 the next morning, the executive floor was still quiet. I had traded the hoodie for a charcoal Tom Ford suit, crisp white shirt, no tie, and the Patek Philippe that had once belonged to my father. The watch alone cost more than most employees earned in 5 years. I carried nothing but a slim leather folder stamped with the discreet Voss hospitality crest. When I pushed open the door to the general manager's office without knocking, Harlan, mid-50s, silver hair, always impeccably dressed, spilled half his espresso across the mahogany desk. Mr. Voss. He shot to his feet so fast the chair rolled backward. We had no notification of your arrival. That's the point of a surprise, I said, voice calm. I placed the folder on his desk. Night audit logs from last night. Room service call records. And bring Elena, the night supervisor, up here. Immediately. Harlan's face paled. He knew better than to ask questions. Within 7 minutes, Elena stepped through the door in her crisp navy uniform, name tag gleaming, posture confident. She stopped dead when her eyes landed on me standing beside Harlan with the open ownership document spread out like evidence. Recognition flickered, then horror. I gestured to the chair opposite the desk. Sit. She obeyed slowly, hands clasped tight in her lap. Last night at 11:31 p.m., I began. A guest in 1408 requested a simple meal after an international flight. You informed him room service was closed. When he politely asked for an exception, you told him to use a vending machine or leave the property. Then you hung up. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. That guest, I continued, was me. Alexander Voss. Owner of this hotel, and 37 others like it. The room temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. Harlan stared at the carpet. Elena's eyes filled, but she refused to let the tears fall. I followed policy, she started, voice thin. You followed the letter, I corrected. Not the spirit. Our mission statement, framed in every hallway, says, hospitality without judgment. You judged a guest by the clock, by his request, by the fact that he wasn't wearing a Rolex or traveling with an entourage. You didn't ask his name, his status, his reason. You simply decided he didn't matter enough. She swallowed hard. I didn't know. Exactly. I leaned forward slightly. You shouldn't have to know. Every guest should be treated as if they own the place, because one day, one of them might. I turned to Harlan. Effective immediately, Elena's employment is terminated. No severance package, no reference letter, no graceful exit. Security will escort her out. Process her final paycheck today. Elena stood on unsteady legs. For a second she looked like she might argue, might plead. Instead she straightened her shoulders, chin high, and walked toward the door. At the threshold she paused, voice barely above a whisper. I'm sorry. I met her gaze. I believe you are. Unfortunately, apologies don't rebuild trust. The door closed softly behind her. Harlan cleared his throat. Sir, should we? Mandatory retraining for the entire night team, I said. Starting tomorrow. And new guidelines, after 11 p.m., any request gets escalated to a manager for review, no automatic denials. Understood? Yes, sir. I walked to the floor-to-ceiling window and looked down at the city waking up beneath us, my city, my empire. One rude phone call. One moment of indifference. One life changed forever. Sometimes the sharpest lessons are delivered not with anger, but with quiet, unshakable truth. And sometimes justice arrives faster than room service ever could.